Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I'm going to continue with your same module, that is object-oriented programming, and the same chapter, that is chapter number 1, that is how to manage the console input-output operations. In the last class we have discussed about the Setf function and some practical approach, that is how to use the practical approach or how to do the practical approach on the width and the fill function. So let's start with the last class session, that is the Setf, and then moves to the today's session, that is next part, that is how to use them with the manipulator, that is how to use the functions as a manipulators, like we have done, or we have studied about the 5 functions, that is the width, fill function. Now it's a time to move on to the manipulators, right? So let's start the previous class session. In the last class we have started with the Setf function, that is how to use the Setf function. This is a syntax that is used for a Setf function, that is cout.setf argument 1 argument 2. So there are 2 arguments that is given over here with the use of, or with the, inside of Setf function. So Setf is a function that is available. There are 2 arguments, that is argument 1 and argument 2. So Setf is a member function of the iOS class that can provide answer to these and many formatting questions. So whenever I do the formatting, that is done by the setf function. The full form is of setf is set flags, that can be used as follows, that is a cout.setf argument 1 argument 2. The argument 1 is one of the formatting flags that is defined in the class iOS. So it is the formatting flag that is available in the iOS. And there is an argument 2 also that specifies the bit field. So one is the formatting field or formatting flag, one is the argument 2 is the bit field. So there are 2 fields that is available that specifies the group to which the formatting flag belongs. Table 10.4 shows the bit field, flag and their format actions. There are 3 bit fields and each has a group of format flags. So there are 3 bit field that is available and each has a format flag that is used for the mutual exclusive formats. Then this is the syntax, or this is the example that is used, that we have discussed, that is how to use them. There are multiple options for the argument 1, there are multiple options for the argument 2. So the argument 1 contains in the first example, that is iOS left, that is it is the left justified, then it is moving to the adjust field, that is the iOS left, then iOS adjust field. Then in the next example there is a cout setf iOS scientific and the iOS float field. So one is used for the left, that is argument 1, one is adjust field, that is the content will be aligned to the left, that is the left justified. Then iOS scientific, that is it is denoted in the scientific notation, and the float field means it is converted into the float type. Note that the first argument should be one of the group of the second argument. This is the example that we have discussed in the last class. Then these are the various formats required, and this is the various flag, that is argument 1, this is the argument 2. So one is the left, then adjust field, then right, then adjust field, then internal, then adjust field. So these are the various adjust bit field and the flags that is used with the argument 1 and argument 2. And for a scientific notation, this is the argument 1 and the argument 2. So this will produce the output, that is example that we produce the output. Why table 1 is in the left align? Because it is mentioned over here. This is iOS left adjust field. Right. This is another example. This is the internal part, that is how to use the internal. That is a character will be assigned to the left, sorry, operator will be assigned to the left, and the numbers are aligned to the right. Then how to display the trailing zeros and plus signs, that is how to we can use the trailing zeros, that is if I want that all zeros are printed, that is done by the again the function that is used, and the plus sign, that is how to use the plus sign over here. The setup can be used with the flag, that is the iOS show point. So this is the function that is used as a single argument to achieve the form of or some form of output. So this is cout.setf iOS show point, that is used for the displaying the trailing zeros. In the same way, if I want to show the positive sign, then I have to use the argument, that is the iOS show positive. So this is the iOS show point and this is the iOS show positive. And these are the various examples that is used, that is cout, setf, ios, show point, then show positive, then precision 3, that is it will be aligned, or there will be a 3 digits after the decimal point, then cout, setf, fixed, internal, then width, then 275.5, that is also used, that will produce the following output. Then there is a plus sign, there is a operator that is used. So the flags such as the show point and the show positive do not have any bit field that is available, that is they are only used with single argument, there is no bit field that is available. These are the explanation of this one, and we have studied also the example of this one, but not doing the practical approach. Today I'm going to do the practical approach of this one. Now the next concept is how to manage the output with the manipulators, that is how to use the, or how to manage the output, how to display the output with the manipulators. Now it's a today's topic, so let's start with the today's topic, that is how to use the manipulators in C++. So this says the header file iomanip provides a set of functions. So whenever we use the manipulators, I have to include the file, I have to include the header file, that is the iomanip. So this is the header file that contains, or that provides, a set of functions that are known as the manipulators, which can be used to manipulate the output format. So whenever I want to manipulate the output format, that is available, or that is done by the manipulator. So iomanip contains a function that is known as the, or that is done by the manipulators. So manipulators are used to manipulate the output format. They provide the same feature as that of the iOS member function. As I talked to you, as I told you earlier also, that these are the same features, or they have the same capabilities as we do in the iOS functions like wait, fill function. But they are known as the manipulators to manipulate the output string. There is some difference. There is a name of the syntax, name of the function that is differ, syntax that is differ. So some manipulators are convenient to use than their counterpart that are used in the class iOS. For example, two or more manipulators can be used as a chain in one statement. That is, we can use more than one manipulators in a one statement. That is, whenever we use the cout with the use of extraction operator, we can use more than one manipulators in the same statement. That is a manip1, manip2, manip3. Then there is a item. Then cout manipel item1, manip2, item 2. So this is used for the manipulator, that is a manip1, manip2, manip3, manip4, manip5, and the item. So we can do, or we can use more than one manipulators, or two or more manipulators as that can be used as a chain in the one statement. So it is used in only one statement also. This kind of concatenation is useful when we want to display several columns of the output. The most commonly used manipulators are shown in the table 10.6. So these are the various manipulators and their meanings. Uh, the main concern is that whenever we use the manipulators, we have to include the header file, that is the #include iomanip.h. This is the manipulators, this is the meaning of the manipulator, and this is equivalent to the, or equivalent function that is used with the iOS, right? So this is the manipulator, that is a set w, there is a int w. Now set precision, there is a int d that sets the field width to w, that is the explanation of this one. Then set precision, that set the floating point precision to d, and that is equivalent to the precision function. So this is the same. For using the width, we use the manipulator sw or set w. For using the floating point precision, we use the set precision function. For filling the characters, we use the set fill function. For formatting the flags, we use the set iOS flags. Then for resetting the flags, that is clearing the flags, we have to use the reset iOS flags. Then whenever I want to insert a new line, that can be done by the endl, that is equivalent to the /n, /n. These are the various manipulators that is equivalent to the various iOS function that is used, and the meaning is same, that is used with the iOS functions, right? So set W, that is equivalent to the width, set precision, that is equivalent to the precision, then set fill, that is equivalent to the fill function, set iOS flag, that is for that is equivalent to the setf, reset iOS flag, that is equivalent to the unsetf flag, then endl for that is equivalent to the /n. These are the some examples how to use the manipulators, that is how to use them in a functions. There is a cout, then there is a set w 10, then 1 2 3 4 5. This statement prints the value 1 2 3 4 right justified in a field width of 10 characters. That is set w means the width, that is equivalent to the width function. That means there are total 10 columns, and that will be allocated to the number, and the number will be assigned, or number will be adjusted to the right side. That is done by the width function. So this is very equivalent to the width function. This is the same justification. So this statement prints the value 1 2 3 4 right justified in a field width of 10 characters. Now the output can be made left justified, so we can make the we can if we want to change the default format, that is not keeping the right justified, but we want the left justified, that can also be done by using the next flag, next concept, next argument, that is set iOS flag, that is equivalent to the iOS left, right? So this is cout set w10, that is the 10 columns will be assigned, then set iOS flag, that is set iOS flag, that means setting the flags, that is moving to the left, then 1 2 3 4 5. One statement can be used to format output for two or more values. For example, this is the example, that is only one statement it be used to format the various output for more than one value. So first of all, there is a set w5, that is a set w5 means there is a width, or that means 10 columns are assigned or 5 columns are assigned. Then there is a precision of the 2, that is after the decimal there are total 2 decimal points, and the number that is given in the 1.2345. Then set w10, that is the 10 the 10 columns are allocated, and there will be a decimal point, that is a 4, then finding the square root of 2. Then set w15, that is a total 15 columns are assigned. Then iOS scientific, that is move the or make the number as in a scientific notation. Then sqrt 3, that is finding the square rt or square root of 3, whatever the value of square root of 3, that will be displayed in the form of the scientific notation. Then there is a endl for moving to the next line. It will print all the three values in only one line with the field size of 5 10 and 15 respectively. So why it is using in only one line, print in only one line? Because there is no slash n that will be used for moving to the next line. Note that each output is controlled by different set of format specification. We can jointly use the manipulator and the iOS function in the program. So it's also a provision that we can also use, or we can merge various format pointers, various manipulators, various iOS function in the same program. This is the example. There is a cout setf iOS show point, that is a setf is used, that is a setf function is used for show the trailing points or trailing zeros, that is done by the cout.setf iOS show point. So this is the iOS function that is used. In the same way, for showing the positive sign, we have to use the cout.setf iOS show positive. Then cout set precision 4, this is your manipulator. So this is a combination of the iOS functions and the manipulators. That is set precision 4, that means we can say that is the 4 decimal or the after decimal there are 4 digits that is available, that is a set precision 4. Then cout set iOS flags, that is the iOS flags will be set, that is a manipulator that is used, that is moving the part or making the program or making them in a scientific notation. Then set w10, that is setting the width, that is a manipulator that is setting the making the column to the 10 and put these values. There is a major difference in the way the manipulators are implemented as compared to the iOS member function. So there is a major difference. There is a difference that is available, the way in which the manipulators are manipulated or manipulators are implemented as compared to the iOS member function. So there is a major difference. The iOS member function, now let's see what is a major difference. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, are you able to hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, are you able to hear me? Okay, Larry. So, so the main concern is that the major difference between the manipulators and the iOS function is that are implemented as compared to the iOS function. So there is a difference in the implementation of the iOS member functions and the manipulators. The iOS member function returns a previous format state which can be used later if necessary. That is, we can use or we can also done or we can also operate on the previous function, we can also operate on the previous format that is available, which can be used later if necessary. But the manipulator does not return the previous format state. That is, once we have done or once we have used the manipulator, there is no criteria for changing into the next manipulators. But the manipulator does not return the previous format state. In case we need to save the old format state, we must use the iOS member functions rather than the manipulators. This is example. First of all, we have used the member function, that is a cout precision 2. So we have used the member function, that is a precision, that is we are able to use, or I am able to use the decimal values after the decimal point. There are total 2 digits that is available, that is the previous stage. Now I change the set precision, or I change the precision function to the 4. This is the current state. So when the new statement or when the statements are executed, P will hold the value of 2, that is the previous state, and the new format state will be 4. We can restore the previous format state as follows. That is, if we want to reset the previous state, so we have to use the cout precision P. That is, the P will be used, that is making the previous statement or the previous statement P. Now this is the example. First of all, there is a header file, that is a common, that is the IO stream for cout and scene, and there is a new header file that is used, that is the IO manip, that is a input output manipulator. That is, whatever the input, whatever the output that is generated from the manipulator, that is done or that is used by using the hash include manip.h or the IO manip.h. Then there is a int main, that is the starting of the main. Then cout.setf, that is the setf is used, or the setf function will be used for showing the show point, that is it will be used for showing the all the trailing zeros that is available, that is the cout.setf iOS show point. Then cout setw, this is the manipulator, this is the iOS function, and this is the manipulator that is used, that is the set w5, that is the width will be assigned or width will be set to the 5, that is there are total 5 columns that will be allocated. Then set w15, that is the total 15 columns that will be allocated, and the numbers will be, or the text will be assigned to the right, that is it is assigned to the right justify. Then set w15, that is the sum of terms, that is then there are 2 slash n for giving a gap of the 2 lines, right. This is whole will be printed in a 2 lines. No, this whole will be printed in a 1 line. Why? Because it is showing in one cout, so it will print in only 1 line. Then double term sum equals to 0, that is a double will be used. Then there are 2 variables that will be initialized. One is the term, one is the sum equals to 0. Then for loop will be used, that starts with the 1, so it contains a variable n that starts with the 1, it ends with the 10. So it starts with the 1 and ends with the 10, so it moves from the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9 10. Then term equals to, that is the variable contains 1.0 divided by float n. So whatever the n value that will be used, whatever the value that will be used, that will be allocated, or that will be assigned, so that is float n. Now the n value is 1, so the float 1 that will be divided by the, or that will become the denominator to the 1.0. Then sum equals to sum plus term, that is whatever the value that is allocated, that will be incremented, or that will be adding up and summarizes into, or going into, or we can say the assign into, initialize into the sum variable. So first of all, n equals to 1, this is 1.0 divided by 1.0. Then n equals to 2, that is 1.0 divided by 2.0. Then n equals to 3, that is 1.0, 3.0, 4.0, and so on till 10 values. That is, then sum equals to sum plus term. Whatever the value is contained in the term, that will be allocated, or that will be added up or adding up in the sum variable, and this is will be allocated to the sum. Now next is cout set w. Now it will be assigned, or it will choose the width of the 5. There are total 5 columns that is used, that will be showing the n content or the n value. Then set w14, then set precision 4, that is it takes the decimal points, it takes the digits after the decimal point as a 4. This is the hidden page, that is the whole program is not available. So I will show you with the help of a practical approach right now. So let's see the practical approach right now of same program, so that your concepts are clear, because there is a hidden page available over here. This is the program of the manipulators. This is the chapter number 10. I will show you the program right now. This is used, that is a sum of terms. Now there is a set for precision. There are more than, or there are 3 values that is available, that is a set iOS flag. So let's continue with the practical approach of this program only. So let's continue. The same program, that is how to format with the manipulators, right? So I will give the content, that is the so it start with the, first of all, there is a hash include iostream.h, then hash include iomanip.h, because we have to use the manipulator, so we have to include the header file, that is the iomanip. There is a int main, then cout dot setf, that is a setf function is used, and the class that will be used, that is a iOS show point. The same concept, there will be a semicolon, then cout, that is a set w, that contains total 5 columns, and whatever the value that is contained, that is stored in the n. There is no semicolon, but we have to use the same line, that is, then there is a set w, then there are total 15 values, 15 columns, then whatever the print, that is the heading inverse of, because this is a variable, so there is no gap that will be used, so we have to use the semicolon. Now there is a set w, again there is a 15, then sum of terms, then there will be a gap of the 2 lines. Now I have assigned one value, or I have initialized one value, that is a double, then term, then sum equals to 0, right? Then the for loop will be used, that contains n value, that is n equals to 1, n equals to 1, n is less than equals to 10, then n plus plus. Then it will use term equals to 1.0, that will be divided by a float, then there will be a n. Now sum is equals to the sum plus term, then cout will be used, that is the set w 5, then there will be a n. Again in the same line there is a set w 14, then there is a set precision, then there will be a value that is used, that is a 4. Now next is again using in the same line, that will print in the same line, that is a set iOS flags, then iOS scientific, then it will print the term, then set w 13, then reset iOS flags, then iOS scientific, then it will display the sum and there will be a gap of the one line. Now this for loop will be closed over here, then this is the starting of the main, then there is a get ch, then there will be a return 0. Now if I compile this code, there is only one error, that is the get ch should have a prototype, that is we have to include the header file, that is a conio.h, that is hash include conio.h. Now if I compile the code, there is no error. If I execute the code, this will print as it is. So there is a heading, first of all there is a n, there is a inverse of n, then there is a sum of terms. N contains the value from 1 to the 10, and the reverse value is denoted in the scientific notation, and the sum of terms is adding the values that will be available in the terms, that will be available in the value. So let's see the program. First of all I have to save the program. So this is the manipulators, right? So there are three header files, one is the iOS. Now let's see if I am not using this one. First of all, now if I compile, there are 4 errors, that is set w do not a prototype, precision is not a prototype, because these are the manipulators that is used. So I have to include the header file so that these concepts or these manipulators are used in a current way, are used in a perfect way. Now there are 3 header files. One is the iostream.h for taking out the functions like cout, cin, that is the input output stream. One is the iomanip, that is the input output manipulators, whatever the input, whatever the output that is available, or whenever we are using the manipulators, we have to include the manipulators header file, that is the iomanip.h. Then hash include conio.h, that is a common input output file that is used to show the output that is get by the, or that is done by the get ch function. Then there is int main, that is the starting of the main. Then cout.setf, that is a setf is the function that is used, that is the setting of the flag, that is a Setf, show point, that is it will show the positive sign. Sorry, it will show all the trailing zeros, that is done by the show point. Now cout set w5, that is there are total 5 columns that will be allocated to the n, that is the 4 columns will be blank, only one column contains the n. In the same way 15, there are total 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, total 12 characters. So 3 columns are vacant, so there is a gap of the 3 columns, that is a vacant. In the same way 15, this contain 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, so there is a gap of 3 also. So there is an equal gap between the n and the inverse of n, and there is a same gap between the inverse of n and the sum of terms. So there will be a same gap between these values, that's why it is assigning, it is using the 15 width. But from the screen to the n content to the n text to the n character, there will be a gap of the, or there will be a gap of the 4 characters. Why? Because n is a only single character, but it is initialize the character, it is initialize the columns to the 5, so it will give the gap of the 4 columns, 4 gap. Then there is a double term sum equals to 0. Now it will initialize the variable as a term, and the sum that will initialize to the 0. Now using the for loop, so till here it will show only the heading like this one. There is a heading, there is a n, there is a gap of the 4 characters from the beginning, there is a inverse of n, there is a gap of the 3 characters, there is a sum of terms, there is a gap of the 3 characters, or the 3 columns, not characters, right? Now this will be used for the initialization of the variables. Then the for loop will be used, that starts with the n, and that starts with the 1. So the for loop that is used, that is using the character n, that ends with the 10, then there is a n plus plus. So it starts with the 1, it ends with the 10, there is a n plus plus. So it is of an integer value, that is n equals to 1, n is less than equals to 10, n plus plus. Then term equals to, that is the term is the, we can say the variable that is used, that is equals to the 1.0 divided by float n. So whatever the value that is contained in the term, that will be shown up, that is used by dividing the 1.0 with the float n, that is n is the 1 2 3 4 till 10. Then sum equals to sum plus term, that is the sum variable contains the addition of all the terms value, all the output values. Then sum equals to sum plus term. Now there is a cout set w, that is a setting the width, that is a setting the width to the 5 columns. Again 5 columns will be allocated, then the n will be printed. So first of all the 1 will be printed, then there is a set precision 4, then set w, that is there will be a digits that is available, 4 digits after the decimal point. Then set iOS flags, that will be denoted in the notation, that is a scientific notation, and the value that is printed is the term. So the term value that is available over here, that will print in the scientific form, that contains the total 4 digits after the decimal point. Then there is a set w, that 13 will be allocated for the next reset flag, that 13 will be allocated for the reset flag, that contains the value as a sum. So whatever the value that is available in the sum, that will be printed in this one. These all are printed in a same line. So in book it is available till here. So after this there is a hidden page that is available over there. So this will be print as it is. Now if I show the output, there will be inverse of n, that is in the scientific notation there will be a leading zeros also, there will be a 4 characters after the decimal points, that is 1.0000. Then in a scientific notation, that is e plus 00, then 5 point, then there are again 4 characters, 4 digits that will be printed, then minus 01, then again 3.3333, then again 4 digits after the decimal point, and in a scientific notation. So in the same way till 10 it will be printed. Now there will be a sum of terms, that the output will be adding up, that will be sum plus terms. So first of all, this is 1.000, then then there will be 1.5000, that in the adding of the sum plus the terms, that is a 1 plus the 1 plus 0.5, that is divided by 1 by the 1.0, that is 0.5. Then 1.833, then 2.0833, that is there are total 4 leading zeros, that is 4 zeros that will be available after the decimal point. Then again it will be showing sum of terms. So this will be adding up by using the term and the sum of the terms. So first of all, 1.0 divided by 1.0, because first the value is 1, that will be a 1, that is 1.000, that will be added to the 0 because sum contains a 0, that will be the 1.000. Now 1.0, that is divided by the 2, that is a 2.0, that is 0.5. Now 0.5 will be added to the sum, that is the 1.000, that will show the output as a 1.50000, that is 0.5. Then this contains 1.500. Now this is 3.0, that contains a 0.3, that contains the 0.333. So 1.5 plus 0.333, that contains, or that gives the output as a 1.8333. So in the same way, that will be printed in a 4 n value, n value 5, n value 6, n value 7, n value 8, n value 9 until n value 10. Now this program, and then for loop will be closed, and then there is a get ch for showing the output. There is a return 0 because we have used the int main. Right. Now this program is clear to each and everyone. Now this program is clear. Yes, Larry, clear? Okay, thanks, Larry. What about Benjamin? This program is clear to you, Benjamin? Benjamin, this program is clear to you? All right. So this is the how to use the predefined manipulator. That is, there is a predefined manipulator, set W, set precision. Now the next is how to use the, or how to design our own manipulator. That is a user defined manipulator. There is only one page that is missing, that is a hidden page. So do not take tension. This is a program that is available. So first of all, understand this program and then move to the practical approach, that is how to create our own, we can say our own user defined manipulator. So let's see the program, then move to the practical approach. So this is the example that is given, that is continue with this page, that is a hidden page. Now there is a cout 36 unit, that is a 36 will be allocated as a unit that will produce the 36 inches. So because this is the unit and there is the inches, we can also create manipulators that could represent a sequence of operations. This is the example. There is a O stream, this is a syntax, this is a keyword that is used, O stream, that is the output stream. Why? Because we are going to display the output. So we have to use the O stream, that is the output stream. Then there is a ampersand sign, that is a mandatory, that is a syntax. Then there is a show, that is in bold. This is the name of the manipulator that we have created. So this is the user defined manipulator, that is a show. Then O stream, that is also predefined. Then ampersand output, that is the output stream will be used, and again there is a ampersand operator that will be used. Then there is a output keyword, that is also the same in every case, but the only difference is that I'm using show right now. For example, in the next program I will use predefined, any word that is used, that is I'm going to give the name of the manipulators. Then this is output.setf, that is the code that will be used, and that is the output is given in the setf, that is setting the flags, that is showing the trailing zeros. In the same way, output.setf also setting the flags and showing the positive sign. Then output, that is a setw10, that will be allocated or that will be assigned the 10 column, that is a setw10. That is the output setw10. Then there is a return output. So whatever the value that is stored by the output, that will be returned by the return statement. Then there will be a closing of the curly braces. So this is the mandatory in every case, but these are the optional. Whatever you want, you can use them. And so this is the user defined manipulators that we have defined our own manipulator that is used in the manipulation, that is used to manipulate the output. So this function defines a manipulator known as the show that turns on the flag show point and show positive, declare in the class iOS and set the field width to the 10. So this will create the show as a manipulator that use the show point, that use the show positive, that is defined in the class iOS, and set the field width to the 10. So this is the program that illustrates how to create and use of the user defined manipulators. That is how we are using or how we are creating the user defined manipulators and how to use them in the program. The program creates two manipulators named the currency and the form in this program, which are used in the main program. This is the user defined manipulator example. Again, there are two header files. One is the iostream.h, one is the iomanip.h. So one is the iostream, one is the iomanip. Then this is the user defined manipulators. Then ostream ampersand currency, that is the ostream. This is the, we can say, the keyword. Then there is the ampersand, this is also the mandatory condition keyword. Then there is the name of the manipulator, that is the currency. So currency is the name of the manipulator that is used. Then there is the ostream ampersand output, that is the ostream is used and there is the ampersand of output, that is the mandatory, or that is common to each and every user defined manipulator. The main thing is that we have created the manipulator named as a currency. Then output, that is the output will be displayed as a rupees, then return the output. We have created one more manipulator, that is also the O stream, that is used for the output stream. There is a ampersand, there is a form. So form is the name of the manipulator. Then O stream, that is the output stream, then ampersand output. Then output.setf, that is the setf is used, that is the set flag is used, that is showing the positive sign, that is the iOS show positive. Then output.setf, that is iOS show point. Now then output.fill, that is it is filled with the stars, that is showing the positive sign, showing all the trailing zeros, or also showing if there is any blank column, so it will be filled by the asterisk sign. Then there will be decimal places, that is up to the 2 digits, that is a precision 2. Then output set iOS flags iOS fixed, that is fixed will be used, that is it will be fixed. Then set w10, that is the column width or the total number of columns are 10, then return the output. So these are the two predefined user defined manipulator. One is the currency, one is the form. Then there is the int main, that is cout currency forms, that is 7864. So whenever we use the currency, it will use the manipulator currency, that will show the rupees only. Whenever we use the form, so it will first of all show the positive sign, then all the trailing zeros, then show that precision as a 2, whatever the value that is given. This is the output. First of all, there is a rupees that is stored or that is done by the currency, that is a rupees. Then asterisk asterisk plus 7864.50. There are two decimal points that will be shown. There are total 10 width. So there are total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the number will be allocated to the right, that is done by the fixed. So it will be allocated to the right. There is a showing of the trailing zeros, showing of the positive sign, showing of the positive sign, showing of the trailing zeros. Note that the form represents a complex set of format functions and the manipulator. That is, this is the form, that is a user-defined manipulator that contains the iOS functions. This is the iOS functions as well as the manipulators, that is the set iOS flags. This is the user-defined manipulator, right? So this is the winding up of the chapter. So in a manipulator we have studied how to use the predefined manipulators and how to use the or how to create our own manipulator, that is a user defined manipulators, right? Now there is a summary that I'm taking out after the break, or let's finish this one so that after the break, uh, no, let's stop over here, then moves to the break, and then after break moves to the summary, then do the practical approach, right? So let's take a break right now. The break, now let's start the session again. So next part is, so we are finished with the how to use the user defined manipulators, or how to make the manipulators as a user defined, that is how to make the manipulators as per the user's requirement, that is the using the manipulators as per the requirement of the user, that is a user defined manipulators. And so we are finished with this chapter. Now let's talk about the summary, that is a recall of the whole chapter, that what we have covered in the whole chapter. So in C++, the IO stream is designed to work with different input-output devices. That is, the IO stream is used to work with the different input-output devices. This input-output system supplies an interface known as the stream to the programmer. So this input-output system is designed to work with the various input-output devices that is used. So input output is a stream or input output system that supplies an interface that is known as the stream. So in C++ it is known as the stream, which is the independent of the actual device that is used. Then what is a stream? So it is a sequence of bytes and serves as a source, as a destination for all the input output data. So stream is a nothing but we can say is a sequence of bytes or interface that takes the input and provides the output. That is, the input and the output is taken up by the stream. The source stream that provides the data is known as the input stream. So first of all, there is a source stream, then there is a destination stream. The source stream that provides the data to the program, that is known as the input stream. And the destination stream that receives the output from the program, that is known as the output stream. The C++ input-output system contains a hierarchy of stream classes used for the input and the output operations. These classes are declared in the header file, that is the IO stream. So whatever the header file that is used, that is a stream, IO stream. Then Cin represents the input stream that is connected to the standard input device, and Cout represents the output stream that is connected to the standard output device. These are the two standard streams that is available. One is the Cin, one is the Cout. Cin is used for the standard input device, and Cout is used for the standard output stream or standard output device. The iStream and the OStream classes defines two member functions, that is a get and the put, to handle the single character input output operations. So whenever we use the input output or input stream output stream, that will define two member functions. What are they? They are the get and the put. Get is used to take the input, put is used to display the output. Then this is the insertion operator that is overloaded in the IOStream class or iStream class as an extraction operator, and next is the insertion operator that is used for the used in the OStream class. Then we can read and write a line of text more efficiently using the line operating or line oriented input output functions, that are the get line function and the write function. So these are the character oriented functions, that is the get and the put, that is getting the character and displaying the characters on the screen. But the line oriented input output, that is used for the whole line, that is getting the line and printing the line on the screen. Then iOS class that contains a member function. There are various member functions that is used to format the output. So if I want to do the formatting, do the manipulations, that is provided by the manipulators and the member functions. So iOS class, that is the input output class, contains the 5 member functions that are width, precision, fill, setf and setf, that are used to format the output. Then the header file IOManip provides a set of manipulator functions. So there is a equivalent of the input output function. There is a manipulators that is stored in the class, that is the IOManip, that provides a set of manipulator functions to manipulate the output formats. They provide the same features as that of the input output class function. So they provide the same feature as it is provided by the input output class or input output stream class functions. We can also design our own manipulators for certain special purposes. That is, there is also a provision, that is, we can define our own manipulators, that is known as a user defined manipulators, right, for certain special purposes. Then there are various key terms that is used in this chapter, that is how to use the key terms in this chapter. Then these are the review questions, that is what is the stream, what are the various features of input output stream that is supported by the C++, then how do the input output then what are the various input output facilities that is provided or that is available in C++ that differs from the that in the C. What are the various words that is the C in and the C out that is considered as a keyword. Then what are the file input output stream that is available in the program, and what are the various forms of get function that is supported by the input stream. Then how do the following two statements differ? This is the question, that is what is the difference between these two statements. Then how to use the cin and the getLine functions, what is the difference. Then how to implement the size parameter, that is how to use them. Then what does the following statement do? This is the next question. So there are various questions. Yeah, this is a true false question. This is very interesting. This says a C++ stream is a file. That is, a C++ stream is a file. This is a question. This is a true or false. So C++ stream is a file. Yeah, it is a file that contains all the input and the output. So it's a class, it's a file. Then this answer is true. Then next is C++ never truncates the data. That is, it is not possible to truncate the data in the C++. That is not true, because we can truncate the data as per my requirement by using the manipulators, by using the member functions. So this is false. That is, C++ truncates the data. Then main advantage of width function is that we can use one width specification for more than one item. So this is the next question. That is, one of the main advantage is that, or one of the main feature it is available is that we can use one width specification for more than one item. No, that is not or that is also available, that we can provide the more specification for the more than one item. But that is not true. That is not advantage. That is a feature, but that is not advantage. So the answer is false. Now my question is to Larry. Like, Larry, tell me the answer of this fifth question. This says the header file IOManip can be used in place of IOStream. That is, we can replace the header files, that is the IOManip and the IOStream. So it is possible to run each and every function with the using of IOManip, but we are not using IOStream. It is possible or not? My question is to Larry. The answer is true or false? Why false? Can you tell me the reason? Okay. Yeah, very good. These both header files are mandatory to run the program. So both are very essential to run the program. Very good, Larry. Now the fourth one says the get void function provides a single character input, does not skip over the white spaces. No, that's not possible. So this answer is also false. Next, we cannot use both the C input output functions and the C++ input output function in the same program. Yeah, there is a difference between the input output functions of the C. There is a difference of the input output function of C++. So we cannot use them. So the answer is true. Next question is, a programmer can define a manipulator that could represent a set of format function. That is, a programmer can make their own manipulators. So there is a provision for the predefined manipulators. So answer is true. So programmer can create their own manipulators that can represent or that could represent a set of format functions. So the answer is true. Right. And now this is the hidden page again. These are the various statement questions, that is how to use them. These are the finding out the errors in this. Then there is a programming exercises. This is the how to write the program. So this is the program that is given. How to use them? By using the member functions and by using the manipulators. This requires some gap, so the width will be more for the code and the width will be more for the code. So that there is a gap between this, there is a more gap between this. So there is a more width for the code, there is a less width for the cost. Note that the name and the code are left justified. It is given, and the cost is right justified with the precision of 2 digits. It is already mentioned, it is a precision of 2 digits. Trailing zeros are shown. So we have to use the precision function, we have to use the setw function, we have to use the show position function, that is the show pose function or the show point function for the trailing zeros. This is how this program will be written. Now modify the above program to fill the unused spaces with hyphens. So again one more function will be used, that is a cout fill, that is used for filling the hyphens. In a bracket we are giving the, in double quotes there is a hyphens. Now winding up this chapter, that is chapter number 10, that is managing console input output functions or operations will be finished. Now the next chapter is working with the file, that is how to work with the file, that is working with file. So Larry, is there any doubts in the chapter number 10? Yeah Larry, is there any doubts? Okay, so shall I continue? So shall I continue with the 11th chapter, or I will take this chapter in the tomorrow's class? Okay, do the practical approach. Okay, okay. So this is a program that shows the user defined manipulators. So first of all, there is a hash include. Let's see how to use them, how to use the manipulators, how to use the user defined manipulators. So if I compile this code, there will be one error. So there is no header file, that is a conio.h. So we have to include the header file. Now if I compile, there will be a success. If I execute, this is shown, that is rupees star 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 plus 7864 then 0.50, right? So now let's see, these are the header file that is used. Then there is a user defined manipulators. There is a o stream ampersand currency, o stream ampersand output. So this is the syntax. The name of the manipulator is currency. In this it is showing the rupees. There is a return of the output that is showing the return, that is your we can say the rupees. Then new manipulator is used, that is a form that contains the show position, that is showing the trailing zeros. Showing the positive sign, this is show point, that is showing the trailing zeros. Then output dot fill, that is showing the unused or the blank spaces or the blank columns with the asterisk sign, that is a star. Then next is output dot precision, that is taking out the taking out the, we can say, the values as a decimal values. After decimal there will be a 2 digits. Then iOS set flags, that is a fixed value. Then width will be allocated as a 10. Then return the output. So this will shown, the output will be shown as this one. There is a plus sign, there is a asterisk sign, there is a rupees sign, there is a number. The two numbers are after the decimal point, that is 50. This is the int main, simply showing the currency first of all, then show the form in the same line, right? If I use clear screen, it will show only 1. If I again compile, it will show only 1 output. There is no output. Where is the output? There is a clear screen over here. It is not possible in this one. Now if I compile, there will be output, that is star star 7416. Now this program is clear to you, Larry? Yeah, Larry, this program is clear to you? Okay, thanks a lot, Larry. So that's all for today's session. In the tomorrow session, I will be taking your next chapter, that is chapter number 11, how to work with the files in C++. We have already studied how to work with the file in C, but now it's a time to move to the C++. That is how to we can say how to move the files or how to use the files in the C++, right? So that's all for today's session. If there is any doubts, any queries, you can ask from me. So that's all today's session. Thank you so much. In the next class, taking the next chapter, that is chapter number 11. So thanks a lot everyone. Bye bye.